Speaking of significant returns in the women's division, Nikki Bella's return is one that is currently making headlines and has a lot of good news associated with it. Tension between WWE and the Bella twins especially increased around the 30th anniversary of Raw, despite the fact that they had fantastic careers in WWE and had recently been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Although the Bellas were scheduled to appear on that particular Raw show, their presence was abruptly cancelled. That evening, the Bellas went live on Instagram and began venting about a number of problems with the women's division, the WWE, Mercedes Moné, and other topics. At that point, it seemed as though things were becoming a little bumpy in both parties' relationship. They then engaged in a brief legal dispute regarding the Bella last name before deciding to change their name to the Garcia twins. Then there were rumors that Nikki Bella might even be going to AEW. Additionally, Brie was already frequently on camera and backstage at AEW because she was Bryan Danielson's supporter. Thus, it appeared that a Bella run in AEW would be feasible, but the excitement eventually subsided. Seeing Nikki Bella backstage at the Raw Netflix premiere was the most recent startling event. Given the current friction between the Bellas and WWE, Nikki Bella was the most startling of all the well-known people backstage at that event. However, a few days later, Nikki declared on her podcast that everything with WWE was resolved and that she was happy to be a member of the family. A few weeks later, we arrive at the present with this fresh WrestleVotes report. They assert that Nikki Bella and WWE have been seriously discussing her comeback to in-ring competition. Additionally, the paper asserts that it's more of a when issue than an if. Thus, it appears that Nikki Bella and WWE reached an agreement there, and we will most certainly see her shortly. On this news, opinions in the community were rather divided. Fans were a little perplexed as to why Alexa was having such a difficult time finding a new deal, especially considering the news about Nikki Bella was released at the same time as all of the Alexa news. However, a new agreement with Nikki already appeared to be finalized and completed practically immediately. However, Nikki Bella's return should still be highly encouraging for the women's division. The women's division does not really have that unique attraction, while the men's division does have a number of huge part-time stars and celebrity crossovers that occasionally occur and work with the younger generation. During Trish Stratus' tenure with the business in 2023, WWE did have it. It would be wonderful to see something similar from the women's division legends more frequently. Given her previous obligations outside of the ring, no one is anticipating a full-time run from Nikki Bella at this point in her career. However, if she can accomplish anything akin to Trish's 2023 run, even if it is restricted and only involves one opponent, it would seem like a fantastic role for her to have that could benefit everyone. And with the Royal Rumble quickly approaching and all of the encouraging reports regarding Nikki's negotiations with WWE, many fans are hoping that the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble will serve as the catalyst for Nikki's comeback. Although Nikki made a quick one-night appearance in 2022, she hasn't participated in a fully developed WWE program since she and Ronda Rousey joined the company in 2018. Thus, in theory, it might be Nikki's first sustained stint with WWE in 7 years. Fans have also been at odds about the Jade Cargill attacker plotline, with some community members sarcastically criticizing its lack of development and significant clues. And this criticism is valid. You usually anticipate fresh hints and discoveries with every episode of a show that has a mystery plot. The plot advances steadily as the characters, frequently through their investigation efforts, get closer to unraveling the mystery. The Naomi and Bianca Belair aspect, especially in relation to the Jade Cargill attack, hasn't been like this, though. Sometimes we receive a passing reference, such as when Naomi says there are no new leads, yet weeks go by with no noteworthy findings or advancements. The fan community has legitimate concerns about this lack of steady development because it seems like the mystery is being prolonged with no end in sight. Nevertheless, as Jade Cargill's comeback to WWE draws nearer, there is optimism that things will get more intense. There are indications outside of the show that Jade is preparing for a comeback to the ring sooner rather than later, even if it is evident that the plot has not been continuously developing on TV. Following weeks of silence, Jade Cargill's return to social media was one of the most telling indicators. Jade, who hadn't shared a carousel of pictures of herself since the incident back in November, shared a number of fresh ones on Instagram. The fact that Jade decided to share these pictures is a strong indication that she is fully recovered and prepared to rejoin WWE, as it was the first time we have seen her since the tragedy. The Jade Cargill plot was initially set up as though Jade was in a hospital recovering from the attack. We were given the impression that she was gradually getting better, but based on these fresh pictures, which show her in perfect condition and free of any bandages or injuries, we can safely assume that she is fully recovered. Even though there haven't been many significant indications or advancements from the SmackDown narrative, this could indicate that Jade's comeback is imminent. Nonetheless, there has been a discernible pattern for anyone following Jade on social media. She questioned Naomi's assertion that there were no fresh leads in a post, and now we have fresh images showing Jade fully recovered, which confirms that her comeback is imminent. Furthermore, fresh rumors indicate that Jade has been seen at the WWE Performance Center, where she is reportedly preparing for her impending comeback. There has now been a noteworthy development that may have identified Jade's assailant and possibly have ended weeks of investigation. The mystery of who attacked Jade was closely linked to Bianca Belair and Naomi, who were regarded as the top two possibilities for weeks. Rhea Ripley vs. Bianca Belair is apparently a significant bout that WWE is eyeing for WrestleMania 41, according to a recent article from Fightful. This bout, which has been teased for some time, would surely be a major event for the women's division, particularly at WrestleMania. However, the Jade Cargill plot will be affected more broadly by this news. Bianca Belair is unlikely to have been responsible for the attack on Jade Cargill if she is being set up for a matchup with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. One-on-one matches between Bianca and Jade would have been a logical WrestleMania program if Bianca had been the attacker. The fact that WWE has other plans for Bianca, like as a high-profile match with Rhea Ripley, almost absolves her of any responsibility for the attack on Jade Cargill. Although this new news is exciting for Bianca's personal WrestleMania aspirations, it unintentionally removes her from the suspect list and places Naomi in the center of attention. Now that Bianca appears to be out of the picture, Naomi is the most likely suspect in the attack on Jade Cargill. Indeed, this might be the game for which Jade has spent the last few weeks preparing. If it's Naomi, this might lead to a much-anticipated matchup between Naomi and Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, which would be a major career-turning moment for both ladies. The prospect of Naomi turning heel for the first time in more than 10 years is what makes this even more exciting. Fans would be excited to watch Naomi's character undergo a significant change if she were to take a heel turn, which might add new depth to the character. Given the amount of time available to develop the rivalry, there is a genuine chance that it will last until WrestleMania. Since the plot has been going on for months, WWE has the chance to develop Naomi's motivations, enabling her to defend her actions and providing fans with a more nuanced picture of her. This can result in Jade pursuing Naomi non-stop in an attempt to learn the truth about the incident and finally resolve their disagreements on the most important stage of all. The big twist, according to some fans, would be Jade coming back as a heel herself. According to this hypothesis, Jade might return with a vengeance, accusing Naomi of being guilty without any hard proof and targeting erstwhile allies in an effort to make sure she's covered. Although it would fit into the plot, this intriguing turn of events would still need the attacker to be officially revealed, something WWE hasn't done yet. A major plot point is the mystery attacker, and in order to give the fans closure, the culprit's name must eventually be made public. The fight between Naomi and Jade Cargill at WrestleMania could be a high-stakes, intimate meeting with all the makings of a traditional feud if Naomi is in fact exposed as the attacker. Jade's power and domination might make her an unbreakable force, even if she makes a comeback as a babyface. This is especially true if she can defeat someone with the pedigree of four-time WWE Women's Champion Naomi. In addition to establishing Jade as a significant figure in WWE, defeating Naomi at WrestleMania would give her a perfect 2-0 record and make her the event's unbeaten champion. Kevin Owens' recent outfit decision during the January 24 SmackDown episode is another intriguing twist on the Jade Cargill plot. Some fans question whether Kevin Owens wearing a Naomi shirt to the ring for his main event bout versus Jimmy Uso was a subliminal clue about the Jade Cargill attack. Was it because he knew something we didn't that Kevin Owens wore the shirt? Was this an attempt to covertly reveal the perpetrator, or could he have witnessed the attack? All of those inquiries are legitimate, but for the time being at least, it appears like Kevin was merely attempting to irritate Jimmy Uso, who is married to Naomi. Although there may have been some curiosity raised by Kevin Owens' clothing choice, it was probably merely a mind trick rather than a clear indication of the attacker. The Jade Cargill mystery is still a fascinating undercurrent, though, with many surprises to come. Although the official SmackDown plot hasn't developed much, the off-screen clues and developments, especially those pertaining to Jade's social media activity and her attendance at the Performance Center, indicate that a significant revelation is imminent. It's obvious that Jade Cargill's return to WWE is rapidly nearing, and the consequences of her return could significantly impact the direction of the women's division, whether Naomi is the attacker or not. Fans are anxiously awaiting the next major revelation as the story progresses, and it appears that we are getting closer to identifying the precise perpetrator of Jade Cargill's attack. Let's now talk about something that is subtly taking place in the background right now, because you should be aware of it, because it will undoubtedly grow into something larger. Fans of The Fiend observed that all of the people The Fiend had fought within the past had undergone such significant changes in their personalities. In the end, WWE totally embraced this fan perception and demonstrated it, particularly with Alexa Bliss. She engaged with The Fiend and observed the downward spiral it caused. However, it appears that Karrion Kross has inherited this Fiend effect. There have also been significant changes in the personalities of all those who have competed against Karrion Kross since 2022. Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Carmelo Hayes, Roman Reigns, The Miz, The New Day, and numerous others are on Kross' list of those he has altered. Every celebrity who has experienced a character shift of some kind since first meeting Kross. Additionally, Kross can be seen intently observing Seth Rollins backstage on the January 20th Raw episode. In the description, Kross would write, "Messiah, Messiah, where art thou?" after posting the picture to his social media accounts. Final quotation. We can therefore tell exactly what Kross is aiming for from that caption in the action. His current goal is to transform Seth Rollins into the Messiah he was in 2020. Knowing that the Messiah persona still exists, Kross wants to engage with Seth Rollins in order to harness the Fiend effect, as it were, to draw it out of Seth. And since Seth Rollins is currently under a lot of peer pressure and influence, it appears like there is a good probability that that will occur. Drew McIntyre even yelled in Seth's face during the January 20th episode of Raw that they should support each other because they share similar opinions regarding individuals like Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Karrion Kross is now attempting to free the Messiah from Rollins as well. These individuals are all attempting to enter Seth's thoughts in order to make him snap and turn heel. In the upcoming weeks, Karrion Kross and Seth Rollins could expect to become further closer. It will be interesting to watch if Seth has a strong will or if he gives in to the pressure from his peers. However, what do you think of the stories from today? Please share your thoughts below. Remember to subscribe with all alerts enabled, and hit like if you liked it. I appreciate you everyone watching.